On here. The special one of the best managers of all time, Jamie O'Hara, all on the same page,
we're
resting
just on
place
the same wavelength, you know.
What's going on?
Billericay, Roma, it's all, you know, it's just the same thing.
Same. Let's get a little bit of a take of what the England manager made of that suggestion.
We've been to 3 semi-finals in 60 years. I don't think we're in a position as a nation to start resting players in a quarter-final stage because they might get another yellow card. I think it's different if there are physical concerns. In terms of the yellow cards, we've got to play the game. What are we saving them for? We've got to be good enough to get to a semi-final. If for 1 minute we take our eye off of that moment we're in now and think about what might happen in the future, then we're in trouble. So I totally understand the strategic part of what he's saying, but it's not a route we'll be going.
I've always said he would have got in Southgate. I've always said he's the man. He knows what the score is, doesn't he?
You know what? He's what I really like about him is his own. He makes his own decisions.
100%.
He does not listen to outside influences whatsoever.
And that must be very difficult in that position, mate. There's a lot of pressure on him. Obviously, you get paid the big bucks to make the big decisions, and there's 60 million Twitter managers every single day picking teams and all that.
Absolutely, and that is the thing. No, you're so right. Everyone thinks they're a manager. Everyone thinks they know and their opinion. And look, at the end of the day, everyone's opinion is right and everyone's opinion's wrong. But at the end of the day, it's still, the only man that really matters is Gareth Southgate. And at this moment in time, he's got it right. We haven't conceded a goal. He makes a good point. You know, at the end of the day, what you're saving them for? If you don't win, and there's no point saving them. But I just look, in my opinion, I look at it and I just go, if we're thinking about the final, because they should be thinking about the final, because this team now, with the route we've got and the players that we've got, we have to get to the final. We overcome Germany. Now it's about getting there. And that means you're going to have to play 3 games in 8 days. You've got players who are on bookings. You had players who are exhausted after that Germany game. I just think, don't underestimate Ukraine, but there are players who can step in and do as good as, you know, Rice or Phillips or, you know, Saka. I think players can come in and fill them roles and not make the team weaker.
08717 22 3344. Rory, welcome to the show. How are you, mate?
Hello, mate. Not bad. Hi, Jamie.
Hello, mate. You okay?
All yours, pal. What do you want to say?
Jamie, I usually agree with you, but I think today you're just totally wrong. Totally wrong.
Go on, tell me why.
What's the point of resting players if you don't make the semis?
Because we're going to make the semis. You have to believe...
Whoa.
No.
It's all right believing. It's not
you
fact.
have to believe you're going to make the semis. And you can't tell me, if you put Henderson in for Rice or Phillips, he's not as good as them players, because he is. You can't tell me, if you take Saka out and you put Sancho in, he is as good as Saka. And you can't tell me, if you take Trippier out and you go to a back 4 and you play 4-2-3-1 and you start Jack Grealish, that's not going to be a positive for the team.
Jamie, at the end of the day, you're playing against a side who
aren't good enough.
If we look at their team and they look at us, and all of a sudden we've rested 2 or 3 players, they're going to look at it as an insult. That's going to give them extra incentive to beat them, because we're going to say to them, we don't think that you're good enough to beat our best team, so we can play.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what team they put out. Doesn't matter what incentive they have, Rory. We are too good for them. Our second team could beat this team. It's as simple as that, and we have to be confident to go through.
Jamie, you've been a pro, and you've played against, obviously when you were a good player.
Yeah.
You played against the Chelseas and the Man United when they played literally their second teams. That gave you the incentive to beat them, because you thought, well, that's an insult to me. Because
it gave me incentive, but we still didn't. We still didn't beat them because they were still too good for us.
Yeah, but they're not the same. They're not the same.
Of course it is. This England team's unbelievable. The squad, the 26 players that we've got to choose from is unbelievable.
This is a one-off. I would rather we play our strongest side, and if we lose 2 through bookings, we're in the semis. We're in the semis.
Would you be happy if you go into the semis with no Rice, no Phillips, and maybe pick up an injury from, say, Harry Maguire? You know, he's come straight back from an injury. What if happens? He plays another 90 minutes.
Yeah, but that's football, isn't it? That's the risk that you take in the game.
Yeah, but Jen, you've just said that we could replace Rice and Phillips with Henderson, and we could replace Trippier with Walker, etc., etc.
Do it in the semi. Do it in the semi when you have to do it.
No, you don't do it in the semi because you got to win the semi. That's a tough game.
You've got to win the quarter-final, man.
No, we're going to win the quarter-final.
How do you know?
Because with the players that we've got, we will go through. You have to believe and be confident in the team. And I believe that players like you're telling me that Jack Grealish can't start a game and he's not going to make the England team better. He hasn't started.
Abdul, welcome to the show. What you say, mate?
Hey, how you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good, man. All yours. What do you want to say?
So I was one side opinionated on this. So I'd rest a few players, yes, and the reason being is obviously we can have Mount in there, we can have Henderson there, and then you'd rest Saka as well, 100% rest Saka because he's been one of the player of the tournaments for England. But
so Abdul, just let me ask you a question: Is it consciously that you are resting players for that game, or are you picking a side that you believe is the best team to beat Ukraine? What are you doing?
I'm consciously resting players because, like you said, we have to win the semi-final to the final.
You got to win the quarter-final, Abdul. You got to win the quarter-final, mate.
Of course, we're going to win it. But if we rest players, that also with Ukraine's mentality, it's either it can go two ways. They're either going to think, hang on, they're resting their strongest side, so now we can go win it, or they're like, crap, they're resting players and they're actually confident of beating us. And it's the mentality for the England players as well. Like we're good enough to be rested at quarter-final stages. We can go and win
big
it.
Risk,
with
mate. It's a big risk, isn't it? Is it not a big risk, Jack?
No, it's not a big risk. You have to be confident in the players that you've got. You've got a 26-man squad. You've got players like Sancho, Grealish, Henderson, who they're not playing. So why not use them in a game where you freshen it up a bit and you go, right, we are going to beat Ukraine. You can't tell me Sterling, Kane, Sancho, Grealish, Henderson and Phillips, and then your normal back four doesn't beat Ukraine. That is a great side.
What team have you gone for? You've gone for a back four again?
Yeah, I play obviously Pickford. He's been the man of the tournament for me. Shaw, Maguire, Stones, Walker. So 4 at the back.
Yeah.
And then I play Henderson and Phillips because Rice is on a booking and he was exhausted from that Germany game and he had cramp. So it takes him longer to recover. Sterling, Grealish, Sancho, Harry Kane up front.
I think he's going to play 4. I think Trippier's going to play left back, you know. I really do. Because of the Yarmolenko thing. I think he will do. I think he'll play him at left back. I think Rice and Phillips will play. I think
Tell me Luke Shaw can't deal with Yarmolenko.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I think he prefers Trippier to do that role. And I think Sterling, Kane and Grealish will be your front 3 with Rice, Phillips and Mount just behind him.
Say that again. So you got what?
I've got Walker, Stones, Maguire and Trippier.
Yeah.
Rice, Phillips and Mount. This isn't my team. This is what I think he's going to do. And then I've got Sterling, Kane and Grealish.
Sterling, Kane, Grealish. And then you play Mount as well. So you're changing the team.
No. Well, Mount's your first team player. You would play Mount. He's only not played the last game because of obviously the isolation situation.
Yeah, but we just beat Germany 2-0. So does Mount come back in then automatically?
It would do for me because I think he's the best player. I'm playing the best team.
What you're telling me? Trippier gets in your best team. You cannot tell me that Trippier gets in your best team.
Gareth Southgate's team for tomorrow, I think Trippier will play left back.
No, he doesn't. Listen, if he does, Gareth Southgate's the England manager. He makes a decision. You can't tell me that Luke Shaw does not deserve to start. Luke Shaw created the 2 goals against Germany.
I'm not saying that. 08717 22 33 44. We'll talk Sterling in a minute. Don't go anywhere.